everyone. Day 2 of Purpose Driven Life. How are you today, honey?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Great. I just, today, I think for me, speaking for me, I think today reality sort of set in, Like last week was our son and also your spring break. He's my husband's educator in the school district down here, and also our son had spring break. So they were both going to be off anyway. And so today was supposed to be their week back. So I think I woke up this morning kind of like, yep, And I had work this morning, telephonic, a couple of trials that I had to do, and both of them were postponed. So yeah, today was interesting.
Well, like it says here in day two is you are not an accident. Which read in day 2, just thinking about everything that's going on and looking at this chapter where we're saying Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren, amazing book. Everyone who's on this journey with us, it's great that you guys are here. Come here, little boy. Come here.
Hey.
Those of you that don't know, this is our son.
Hi, everybody.
Yep. So.
Where do I look up there?
Yeah, you look up there. So, for those of you who are just joining, we started a 40-day spiritual journey, the 40-day Purpose-Driven Life, and we're on day 2 today.
My book?
It's over there on the shelf. Can you see it? Go ahead, Bob. What's day 2?
And so day 2, day 2 is you are not an accident. You're not an accident. And the poignant part for me in this chapter is
down, over.
It says, because God made you for a reason, He also decided when you would be born and how long you would live. He planned the days of your life in advance, choosing the exact time of your birth and death. The Bible says, "You saw me before I was born and scheduled each day of my life before I began to breathe. Every day was recorded in your book." That to me spoke volumes. I think that for me personally, I'm just speaking for me, that none of this made sense to me when I was younger. It was only when I suffered a loss, right? I suffered a loss, the loss of my brother, and all this, I needed to read this. I needed to hear this because I needed an answer to why, my brother died at 28. And this book gave me that answer.
2011.
2005.
No, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It answered that question because I knew that it was part of God's plan for him to depart the physical earth so
Hi,
early. So,
hi.
Hey, good evening.
Good night.
You have your camera off, so I can't see you.
Yes, I'm shy.
It's Miss Christy from church. Go ahead, honey. What do you
I'm
think?
gonna read mine.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you think about that? You're not an accident. That God planned you.
Yeah, there's the same one over here.
You want to show them what book you're reading? Let's see.
I'm reading.
Yours is 365 days. So.
Mine is a year.
His is a year. It's called Purpose Driven Life. Devotional for kids. And what did you learn in there? So
the second day is singled out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a quote from 1 Chronicles 6, 1-9b. The clans, these are the clans of the Levites listened according to their fathers. What does it say here? God knows. God knows your name too. He knows who you are and you matter to him. Even if your name never makes it on the winners list or tryout roster, God will recognize you as his child. That's reward enough. That's true, right?
So do you have to do anything special for God to know you and love you?
No.
No, right? What do you think, honey?
I think the same thing that you just said.
Wonderful.
Christy, have you done this before? Have you done this, the purpose-driven life before?
She's muted.
No, she muted herself though,
Oh,
so she can unmute herself, I believe. I don't think.
Oh, you can unmute. Oh, honey.
unmute.
Sorry. Yeah. I had background noise and stuff, so I didn't want to disturb everybody else. But no, I have not, and I'm happy to tune in and see your faces and
We
play, go along. Mm-hmm.
So day 2, you were not an accident. You know, as I was saying earlier, definitely for, you know, believing, you know, it really takes a lot of faith to really accept that everything that's going on now is part of a divine plan and it's not an accident, and that, you know, all of this with everyone getting sick and people dying, that this is all part of a plan, you know? I mean, it's almost like the same thing like when you look at, you know, like when earthquakes or, you know, hurricanes or and all, and you hear about all of these people dying and having to accept that this is all part of God's plan, you know?
Exactly.
Yes.
He's not still making it along the way. He already did. Make
He already did make it, right? Right. Yep. You know, at the end of every day, Christy, if you're not familiar with the book, they have a little box, a little discussion box, and they have in there, it's called Thinking About Your Purpose, and they divide it into 3 segments. One says point to ponder, and the point to ponder, meaning the point to think about, is I am not an accident. And the verse to remember is I am your creator. You were in my care even before you were born. And that's Isaiah 44:2.
And that is always on top.
On top in your book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
And then there's also a prayer.
there's also a prayer. And then, Judge, can you read the question to consider?
I know that God uniquely created me. What are areas of my personality, background, and physical appearance am I struggling to accept? And this you know, this book really goes into it. This chapter really goes into it and like laying it out and saying, you know, there are no accidents. You know, our race, our nationality, everything, like we were born that way for a reason, you know? So, you know, it just really, really makes you to accept and embrace who you are and what you're going through, and know that, you know, this is part of God's plan for you, you know?
Even if you're gifted, it's not a gift that you're gifted. God planned it out.
It's planned it out.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And that's something, I mean, for me, being 6'11", I knew that, hey, there's a purpose, there's a reason that God made me 6'11". I know it can't just be for bouncing a basketball. It has to be for something else. And that's why after playing basketball, I started All Stars of Right as a way to work with kids and help the youth out and say, okay, well, I got to use this talent, this gift that was given to me to help others, you know?
Yes.
So, and that's something that they get into, you know, obviously I've done this a couple times before, but that's something that they get into is using your gifts, and they talk about your gifts that we were given. And you know probably know more about the gifts, Christy, and, you know, gifts that we all have. So, but it's really, I know if you can get a copy, it's a great book. I mean, it's just really helps to refocus.
Your life.
Yes. It gives purpose and direction. We give, you know, purpose and direction
That's why
to
it's
life.
called purpose.
You know what, I wanted to, you know, we're recording this and we're going to post it on YouTube, Christy, and you being a woman, maybe you can relate to this. I wish I had this book when I don't know when he wrote this, but when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and read this chapter, you know, because there were so many times I remember wishing, oh, I wish I looked like that, or if I could not have this, or, you know, my hair, and just all different aspects of my physical self. And if I could have read this then and know, you know what, it was all in his plan. So I can't spend my time worrying about, I wish I had this, or I wish I didn't look like this, and appreciate everything that God gave, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can
According
relate
to
to
the
that.
book, according to the book cover, I don't want to judge a book by its actual cover, but that's a saying. But now I'm judging it in real life, even though it's a saying. But I'm judging a book by its cover, and I'm saying that looks like it was made in the 60s or 50s.
Oh,
He's priceless.
it's priceless. What I'm gonna actually see. So he published it in 2002. Yep.
Okay, so
you kind
no, you were
of.
Not in the 1966. I think he made it look like that to make it look like a classic, to make it look like it's
when was
around
this published?
2002. And this copy that I have is a copy that was given to me in 2005. So I received this copy in 2005. That was the first time that I did this. I was actually playing in China when I did this book.
This was made in 2015.
Your book, right? 2015. Cool.
I could have been reading it when I was 3.
Yeah. Could you read when you were 3?
Yes, I started reading when I was 1.
So,
I started reading when I was 2.
So to recap, day 2, you are not an accident. You know, we have to accept.
And mine is singled out.
Singled out. You're singled out, right?
Yes, I am a single child.
A single child singled out. Oh my goodness.
Well, we thank you for joining us, Christy.
Yes. I'll check in again with you guys. You guys are all priceless. I love seeing you. I was watching you playing basketball, Jaja, tonight. You're getting a lot of baskets in. That was awesome.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good
So
night, Christy, and God bless you.
thank you. Same to you guys. Stay safe. And I know it's divine order. Things, we're going to get on the other side of this and be better people for it. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Somehow, some way.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
And maybe.
And meeting for all.